Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Priyanka Sagu, and today is October 30th. It's APAC ContribEx meeting, and this meeting abides by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which pretty much comes down to please be nice, excellent to each other. Also, a note for every one in the room: this meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be later published to Kubernetes YouTube channel. So if you don't want your video or audio to be recorded, feel free to turn off your mic or camera. With that, I will again put a link to the document in the chat, and please add yourselves to the attendee list. And I don't know, Navarun, why you don't have access to the
Yeah,
document.
that
Oh,
is me.
it's Sriram. Okay. And thank you, Sriram, for adding Navarun. So, Mohit introduced himself off the mic, off the recording. Do you want to come back and maybe introduce yourself again on the recording, Mohit, if that's okay with you?
Hi everyone, my name is Mohit. I am in my third year doing majoring computer science and I am new in Kubernetes community and eager to contribute. Yeah.
Thank you. And Mohit shared that he is looking forward to contribute in some areas of SIG ContribEx. So if I believe Nabarun is also one of the co-chairs of SIG ContribEx, so he's another person who you will see hosting this meeting or other ContribEx meeting, and you can reach out to him as well. Arvind is involved in a lot of ContribEx comms areas. So if that sub project interests you, Arvind would be the person to reach out to. And we already talked about LWKD. That is one of the many things Sriram is doing. So if you are interested in LWKD, you can reach out to Sriram. And let's continue with the rest of the sub project updates, and maybe we can figure out more opportunities. Um, so the first one is events. I note down a few things that are important that are in discussions. I think the last few days. Um, One of them is about KCSNA, KCS Kubernetes Contributor Summit North America, which is going to be happening as part of KubeCon, the upcoming KubeCon NA in about 10, 11 days from now. So for everybody who is going to join it and they are known US citizens, they need to bring their passport physically, the original passport booklet. So just a call out, if any of you are planning to be there and planning to attend the socials event after the KCS summit, you need to bring your original passport copy with you physically to the social venue. Other than that, I think the schedule for KCS is live as well. But Arvind, if you are in a state of maybe coming back on the mic again, do you think if we have any new updates that we need to share here?
Hi. I don't think there were any major dates, but there was just a discussion about the time for volunteers, public summit stuff, when they would meet and when they would do the batch pickup. So the time that was decided was regular attendance would meet at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, and volunteers would get there at 8 to uh, pick up their badges early and then the 8 would like, I think Josh
Okay.
would carry forward.
Okay. Your voice is a bit not so clear, but I picked up some things from your update. So you mentioned for anybody who is going to be a volunteer in the KCS NA event, they need to be there at the venue at around 8:30 a.m. on the day, and they can pick up their badges uh, at the same time. Also, if I recall correctly, there is the KCS NA would be the first day when anybody a regular attendee can pick up their badges for the first time. So we'll be picking up our badges on the same day as KCSNA. Also remember there will be a badge booth near to the entrance door of KCSNA uh, venue. So there'll be a regular booth, badge pickup booth for the KubeCon attendees, and then there'll be another one, I believe, closer to the KCSNA venue. It's okay. So, Arvind, I know, I'm aware you are traveling. Thank you for uh, putting the updates later on in the notes. Other than that, I am not aware of anything from anything other than which we have already discussed. The registration, I believe, are still open if anyone wants to join. Um, they they can still register for the event, provided they have to be registered for the main KubeCon NA event as well. There is some progress on the awards. People are being reached out. Whoever is nominated from different SIGs, they are being reached out, and their awards, if they are not, I think everybody's award will be shipped to their uh, homes, and whoever ends up in person, being in person in the KCSN event, they can join the award ceremony. So there'll be a ceremony, but the awards will be sent to every awardee to their homes itself. So there is some progress on that as well. That's what I know about KCSNA, and I'll just add one update about Maintainer Summit India. The schedule is live. There is a lineup of talks. I know Sriram, you are giving one. Thank you for the submission. And there are few open blocks there, which Nabarun and I are planning. We have a scheduled call with the CNCF events team next week, and after we have that call, and maybe we'll be meeting again on the APAC occurrence after KubeCon NA, we might have more updates on what's happening. If there is anything time pressing, we'll make sure we post that in SIG ContribEx channel. So far, the schedule is live, and whatever is on the schedule is on the plans. Last time we were discussing whether the event is happening or not. It's happening. It's on right now. Yeah. So that's all about events. Anyone else want to add anything? Sriram, do you want to add anything from the events side? KCSNA or anything from the summit staff event?
Not, not really. Yeah, just make sure that you've actually registered for the event. If you're planning to attend KubeCon, any, we'll need to do like the registration separately for cases. I believe same as true for the
Maintainer
maintenance
Summit
summit
India. Yeah.
in there. So yeah,
Yeah, I was going to
yeah.
plug in that as well. The registration for Maintainer Summit India is also open, and there is a eligibility criteria, but for people in Kubernetes project, that means if you are an org member, um, you are eligible to attend the event. Okay, so that's all about events. Moving ahead, mentoring. I did not see any further updates on mentoring from within the last 2 weeks, but just a one liner or two liner. Sylvester is working on the mentoring initiative, revamping the whole sub project once again. And I remember a Slack thread in last 2 weeks' time. Sylvester and Josh are going to plan a meeting outside the ContribEx regular meetings to meet with the volunteers who want to help with the mentoring sub project, and also reach out to SIGs who will be interested in participating in group mentoring cohort. I don't know if such meeting was scheduled already, but if let me check if there was any update in the. Okay, I don't see any meeting. The only update is I see is we need help, or the next on agenda topic is to reach out to SIG leads. and see who is interested. I believe it will take more traction in the next year now. Uh, Coming month is KubeCon NA. People will be seeing that, and then after that is the release, final release for the year, and KubeCon India, and then holidays. So we might expect more actual updates for volunteers in the coming year now. That's about mentoring. I'll just check if anyone wants to add anything on the mentoring side. If not, contributor comms. I don't have anything. Do you, Sriram? Do you have anything on the contributor comms side?
No, not
Also,
really.
LWKD, is that a part of contributor comms? I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
right?
it is part of conflict forms.
Oh, okay. So I should be aware of that. uh, LWKD. Okay, so I don't think we have any new updates from the LWKD side as well. More and more people are joining, which is good. I see a lot of new volunteers on the team,
Yeah,
and you have been doing a regular, very good job of making sure people are taking their part of the work. So thank you for doing that. Arvind has a comment, the chat. I think there was a discussion about adding a shout outs section. Oh, okay. You want to
yeah.
talk about that, Sriram?
Uh, yeah, so Josh had created an issue in the LWKD repository itself, and it was to discuss whether we should add like a new section. So basically, whatever people post in the shoutouts channel in Slack, we can collect it and like publish that in the newsletter as well. Uh, yeah, so you can take a look at the issue. I'll put the link.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like highly plus one on that. We are already doing the shout outs in one place, and adding the same to LWKD newsletters every week would be celebrating the same people more and more to the wider community. So
Yeah,
amazing. I
and
will, if, did you paste the link to the,
yeah,
yeah, okay. Thank you.
yeah, I also agree, and it will give people more reason to read the newsletter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, always. Yeah, that's good. And we have 3 accounts on Blue Sky as well. LWKD Kubernetes IO. Okay. Is this a new thing that came that happened just now? I have no idea if we had Blue Sky accounts
I
already.
think this was created last week. I did hear like there was a discussion on this on the last contributor comms meeting. Thanks, Arvind, for bringing that up also. Uh, yeah, and
Okay.
there was a discussion on why we needed 3 different accounts, while in places like LinkedIn, we only have a single account. And the solution there was that the 3 accounts are meant for 3 different types of audiences, and it makes sense to like have different accounts and not post everything the same place. In LinkedIn, what we do is I think we only have a single account and everything gets posted through that single account.
Okay.
And the reason it was not there till now was because Blue Sky did not like Buffer did not support Blue Sky until now. Now that they've added like support for Blue Sky, they've created like different accounts.
Okay.
My voice.
Arvind, we can hear you a little bit, but it's hardly any clear. Sorry about that. But thank you for the update, because that's great. I also saw some conversation around Blue Sky accounts and CNCF area also. Um, Thank you. I tried taking notes, but I will need, okay. To tier for 3 categories of audience. So, Sriram, since you can come on mic, by any chance, do you know if we need more volunteers to help with Blue Sky maintenance, or it would be the same content being posted to Blue Sky as well via the Buffer account? same what we post to other social media accounts right now. Oh, okay.
Regarding Blue Sky, I'm not entirely sure, but I did like hear this discussion about like the KubeCon related posts, like the socials. It was discussed in the last comms call. So
Mm-hmm.
Caslin had mentioned that if anyone is interested to take a look at those and maybe contribute, they can do that.
Okay.
I think in the if there will be more information in the comms meeting notes. Let me see.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm not sure if they want more folks for maintaining the accounts.
Okay. So,
Uh,
okay.
yeah,
I added if somebody is interested, they can maybe reach out to Caslin and the contributor comms
yeah,
folks in general. Okay. Thank you. Arvind also posted in chat that the team is working on Spotlight blog for election 2025 candidates. Is it different? Maybe you can reply in chat again, Arvind. Is it different from the post that was in progress where we were interviewing the steering committee during the election cycle? Is that the same Spotlight blog or is it something new? And while Arvind posts that, I know there is one another update that's maybe not from contributor comms, but I want to give a shout out to Arvind for his help around cleaning our Survey Monkey account. Um, I think we are moving away from the Survey Monkey forms and going to use Google Forms as the sole way of any surveys, any way of collecting information, or not collecting information, but if we need collecting information for any events or such for ContribEx, especially, we will be using Google Forms onwards. So we needed help uh, with gracefully shutting down Blue Sky and taking backups or taking dumps of all the important information. And Arvind helped us there. So, and that is finished. Thank you so much, Arvind, um, for helping us there. So, I'm not sure if Arvind is in a network area, but we can move ahead. There is some blog post, some spotlight blog coming upcoming for elections related or steering, and I believe when we talk about election, I think it's steering committee election. So that's always good for anyone who is interested in how steering committee elections work. And if you want to maybe nominate yourself, maybe run for the steering, or maybe vote for your for candidates, you can find all those information and what steering committee does in general. Thank you. Contributor document. Before I go to the next one, do we have anything else to add to the contributor comms area? No. Then I'll move to contributor documentation, and I don't have anything on the contributor documentation side. Just the running comment. Sandeep has an item to improve our contributor guide, to refactor our existing new contributor um, documentations on the kubernetes.io website and make it more role based. And when we say role based, means for people who are entirely newcomer, like joining the project for the first time, that's one role. Then people who are developers, that's another role. People who want to um, use Kubernetes, that's another role. So all etc etc. So refactor our current content on the kubernetes.io website, contributor guides based on the roles. That is something already there. I believe there is an issue around that. If there is no. Uh, I will paste a link to that. I think there should be an issue around that in Kubernetes community. That's also another area I think we need volunteers. Okay, no, we do not have an issue right now, but also Sandeep is on a break from ContribEx for a while, so for a few weeks, and so once he comes back, he'll be able to add more information. I don't have any further things to add to the contributor documentation. Anybody else wants to add anything to this area? If not, moderation and media, same. I don't have any updates on the moderation and media side as well. I hope our Zoom automations is working fine. I do see meeting recordings. Sometimes I don't see them. Um, Slack admin, that is also working as usual, and YouTube, the same thing. So I don't have any new updates there. I'll just check for anyone else if there are any updates or anyone heard anything new in that area. We'll check the KubeCon, sorry, the US ones. No, we did not have much updates in the past many meetings around this area. Hopefully everything is going good. That's why the silence. Nabarun, yes.
By the way, if anyone is interested in taking up an issue which involves a lot of understanding Bash code and really old Bash code and converting it to something written in Go, specifically like to convert the generation of the contributor side from Bash to Go's Goldmark renderer, then there is one issue that I can ask people to look at. And it's been a long-standing open issue, but if anyone wants to take a dig, feel free. Here is the issue. So this requires quite good understanding of Bash. Or maybe you can ask like some summarizer to explain how the code behaves.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned yesterday in the lead sync call that we have somebody. Let me pick their name. Sayak. So Sayak Mukhopadhyay. He was working on some area in the contributor side. Maybe, if I recall correctly, it was related to updating the doxy theme that we use for contributor site. It is the versions we are at right now is pretty old, and the upgrade breaks a lot of things, so it's not very clean upgrade, and he has been looking at that, and there is a PR. I need to find that out, but it's a long running conversation that's right now in reviews only. So I was hoping that if he was going to join today's call, maybe we could have asked him for the help, or he could have pointed us other people who are interested. But good call out. I've added it to the notes. And uh, now, Varun, do you think if somebody needs help, somebody wants to chat more about it, who are the people to reach out to? I know Bob is the original author of the most of those scripts, but yeah, I
They
personally
can
would
ping
say
me.
come back to the meeting. Yeah, okay.
They can ping me.
Ping now.
I explained most of it to Arsh like long time back, so I can explain it again, like what the generator does. Another area that we need help with is the election software itself. So if
Yeah.
anyone is seeing this recording or if anyone here um, works can work very well with Python, specifically Flask, um, do do hit the elector repo. There are a lot of open issues that Josh also wants help with, and it will help the election subproject quite a bit. I can
Yep. Yeah.
It's a good project. Electro, I think, is not that hard to pick up. It's just that I don't think most people pick it up in the Kubernetes community because many people are here who are here like want to code in Go. I think that's one of the blockers. So if you also know Python, or if you like to write something in Python, then Electro is a great area to start helping contribute to.
Okay. I took a note of that, and I also remember Josh mentioning in other election meetings. Sorry, we have moved from sub project. We'll come back to the previous one, but just continuing. Josh has mentioned he would really appreciate some help if somebody wants to add more tests to the election software. Um, so if you know Python, I heard Navarun you mentioning Flask. If you know Flask, and in general, if you're interested in this area, we definitely need help. There is a lot of areas where first of all, Electro is one of the tools that we use for the most important task for this community, which is for our governance elections. And so this is a good project to pick up. You will be interacting with a lot of people, and this is a uh, highly visible area now. Okay, so we covered elections. I'll come back to the. We were at contributor documentation, I think. So, contributor site once again. Nabarun, thank you for putting the link. If anyone from this group is interested, or if anyone from the recording who's wants to try first, I believe there is a lot of information already on the issue, because I remember Nabarun, you mentioning yesterday people tried, few people have already tried, so I believe there is some. Yes, there is some discussion. I don't know how good it is, but there is some discussion. Please go through the existing discussion, and if after going through the existing discussion you think you can help, you have ideas, feel free to reach out to Nabarun, or you can come back to this meeting as well, and maybe we can have Nabarun discuss it briefly on this call as well, and then later on the dedicated calls. Thank you for bringing this up, Nabarun. Anything else? We were also at moderation media, and we don't have any updates, but anyone wants to add anything on the sub projects that we have already discussed? Okay, I take that as no. GitHub management, I don't have any updates for this week. There is nothing major happening. Only one ongoing discussion is around GitHub Actions. Many community people uh, were affected by our move from regular GitHub orgs to enterprise GitHub orgs, and especially Kubernetes client organization. The repos under that used to have elevated permissions for GitHub Actions, and for uh, uh, tasks like using pull requests for creating releases, or auto merging pull requests, or some things like that, some automation tasks around pull requests. Those are no longer working, because after our move from regular GitHub orgs to enterprise, and our umbrella enterprise account now, all our orgs follow the common policy at enterprise level, which does not allow much which does not provide much permissions to the GitHub action workflows. We have also discussed the same with GitHub staff in the last this month's October's staff meeting we have with GitHub. The GitHub admins have with GitHub, and we have requested for a feature request, which is well received. The feature request is for having some option to granularly configure GitHub Actions related policies at repos or org level, individual org level, on top of what we have at the enterprise level as well. So GitHub has accepted that request, and let's see when we get more um, updates. I think, yeah, I remember Bob mentioned that we might hear something about it in the first quarter of next year. So that's the update. And there are some more threads in GitHub management channel around people requesting ARM runners. I think the TLDR is right now ARM runners are paid. Like it costs us money, and so until GitHub makes those ARM runner free for the community, we are not going to turn them on. There are other avenues we have in the community. If somebody really is blocked by ARM infrastructure and they need ARM infrastructure for running their tests, there are other ways to do that. We have, I remember Dims mentioning in one of those ongoing threads, we have also created some nodes on PRAO GCE nodes, which are ARM based. So that is one way. And then um, CNCF also have some other infrastructure. I don't recall the name. Nabarun, do you recall the name? Jiffy used to provide us some uh, other infrastructure if we needed ARM related machines.
It's
Like
Equinix
those were
Metal.
virtual
It,
machines.
I think
Equinix,
it
yeah.
was Equinix Metal.
Yeah. So there are ways to do it if it's not really tied to GitHub Actions. Those are the few things that are happening in the GitHub management area, but those are general things that are being discussed in GitHub management channel. Other than that, no major updates. Nabarun, do you want to add anything?
So adding on to this, like quick context for others, like people have loved to use the GitHub Actions because of the simplicity and they feel like PRAO is a little more complex and hence they want to use GitHub Actions. The problem is with GitHub Actions is exactly what Priyanka discussed, that we don't have much over, what do you say? Like we can't vet like all repos because it's a federated system. There is there is very little way like how people can run it all together, like or keep actions together. We also had a initiative like a year back uh, by adding like a subproject inside ContribEx, but that did not pick up much traction because most people were not contributing their GitHub actions to that subproject or that repo. So the fixing the GitHub actions and the permission model from GitHub side will make it like really good, and that is like a long-standing thing that GitHub wanted to provide us like a feature update. They have been streamlining the permission model for quite some time now. Permissions are also like now there are fine-grained access tokens that can be used, and eventually those can be used, and we can since all our orgs are now part of the same enterprise, we can set like enterprise level policies.
Yeah. Good call out. Why do we have restricted permissions in GitHub Actions? Because of security reasons. Yeah. Thank you, Navarun. So I will try to at least write few lines of whatever we did discuss just now as part of GitHub management updates. Um, and then we just have 9 more minutes. So elections we already discussed. We have an area that needs help. Electo, again Python, Flask. If you have those expertise, and it is going to be, I believe, a few months worth of work to get started. So feel free to reach out to, I believe, Josh to get the first set of action items, and then we can take it from there. Josh Burgess. You can reach out to them on SIG ContribEx channel. Yeah. And with that, uh, before I go to the open mic thing, I don't think there is anything else going on in elections right now. Elections, the last steering committee election is wrapped up. Retro happened. I think we already discussed about that in the previous call. So there is not much happening in the elections sub project right now. With that, I'll open the floor for open mic discussion. Anybody wants to talk about anything? Any questions? Anything is welcome. anything you want to ask about all the things we discussed, that's also okay. Yeah. If not, then maybe first I will uh, close the recording. So let me stop the recording. Thank you everyone who joined us on the recording in this meeting today, and thank you everyone who will be listening to us later on. And bye bye.